We have Grandmaster Pentala Harikrishna playing here the second game of his match against Nils Grandelius in the fourth round of the FIDE World Cup. This has been quite a tough match for Hari. He has been on the brink on a couple of occasions. In the second classical game, he was a pawn down and a clearly worse position. In the first rapid game also, he was in big trouble. Now this is the second one after they've drawn the first one. Nils has been playing quite well, but Hari has been very resourceful in finding a way to escape. The players get ready for the second 15 plus 10 encounter. Handshake. Both are actually good friends of each other as well, playing for the same team of Novibor. E4, E5, Knight to F3. We have Knight C6, and Harikrishna plays the Italian with Bishop C4. Knight comes out to F6, pawn to D3, and H6 played here. White plays pawn to C3. Nils thinks for a bit, puts his pawn on D6, and now castles here. So we are going into this slightly weird position where black is not putting his bishop out on C5, it's still on F8, and maybe will go G5 next, trying to attack, but Nils goes only one step ahead. He goes G6, and Hari expanding on the queen side, gaining a lot of space. Nils plays bishop to G7, and now knight D2 is a normal move, developing your knight. He brings his knight out, and white castles here. How should white continue further? B5 is not easy to achieve because of pressure here, hence he goes bishop A3, and maybe the next move he wants to press with B5. Rook E8 played by Nils, maybe looking for a D5 break in the center. White goes pawn to B5, the knight is attacked here. Knight to A5, attacking the bishop on C4. And now the bishop on C4 needs to be moved, so bishop A2 played. And B6 has been played by black. Hari now improves the position of his rook. Always the rook on E1 is to defend the pawn so as to be able to break in the center with D4. Knight B7, slightly weird move, going backwards. Bishop B4 played, improving the position here. And now bishop to E6, offering a trade of bishops. Harikrishna takes it, rook takes, and maybe now you can play D4 in the center. He does it, pawn to D4. Now this tension that is there on the B5 pawn is in black's favor. So maybe because there's a lot of pressure, queen E2 now defends this, but ED, CD taking here, putting pressure on the E4 point. But he plays A5, and that's a positional misjudgment by Nils, because what he's done here is that now Hari's advantage is growing. Suddenly there is nothing more to worry about on the B5 square or the A file. Rook E8, he keeps his pressure up on the E4 point, but queen D3 is a very cool move, and Hari finds it, of course. Queen to D3, and white now has a very strong center. And on the other hand, look at this weakness on the C7 pawn. Knight D8 is not a move that you make happily here. Rook to C1 played, rook goes back to E7, and now pawn to D5 would be very strong if he finds it. Yes, he finds it. Pawn to D5, just kind of ganging up on the C7 pawn. Knight to H5, the knight is looking to come into the F4 square. And you have pawn to G3, stopping the knight from entering. Nils is thinking now what next to do. He brings his queen to g4. And he's trying to create some play on the king side with his queen and the knights. But Harikrishna finds a very good move, queen c4. He's now threatening e5 with the queens opposite each other. And look at the time on the clock. Hari has 8 minutes, Nils down to 1 minute 51 seconds. Rook d7 cannot be a good move because e5 is just a bone crusher here. The problem now is after e5, the queens look at each other, so you have to take, and my knight jumps in. And my knight and he finds it. Beautiful move by Hari. He's very sharp here. I think this is the first time he's getting a big opportunity in this match. And he should capitalize. Queen takes c4, knight takes c4. And now if d takes e5, which is the most likely move, you have d6. Boom. Beautiful. And if c takes d6, you can chop off the pawn on b6. It's just very powerful play by Harikrishna. And Nils, trying to muddy the waters here, pushes the pawn to e4. But Hari goes knight c e5. The rook on d7 is trapped. Take on d6. And his point is, if you take bishop d6 now, c d6, this knight is hanging. Also the other knight is hanging. How do you save both? But the funny thing is, once you move the knight, the pawn is pinned. He goes knight to b7. And now knight takes b6. He takes knight to c5 played. And now just knight d2. Hari has a very, very strong passer on the b file. Very cool move, because knight d3, you can fork me here, which is what Nils does, but misses rook takes e4. Because if rook takes e4, you have an intermediate check followed by knight e4. Hari was so quick and Nils is stunned there. Wow, what a finish here. And with this, the game is almost done and dusted. Finally rook takes e4, but a check comes in and resignation. Harikrishna wins his game and moves into round 5 of the FIDE World Cup 2025. And I think Hari asks Nils, why did you close the position with a5? That didn't look like a good idea. And well, what a big win for Hari. He's now just 2 rounds away. If he manages to win the next one and another one, he could very well get into the candidates, which would be something that's missing from his cabinet of trophies that he has won. He has achieved so much for Indian chess, and this is a golden opportunity. His next round opponent is Jose Martinez. Harikrishna, all the best to you.